1. I think we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hi. Hi, our panelists, our viewers. We're going to give everyone just a couple minutes to tune in to make sure everyone's here. Where are you? Let us know in the comments. We would love to know where you are, what your cats' names are. Make sure you're all here. Bring your cats, bring your plants, and then we'll get started. We are Base Paws. I'm Nadia. I'm the marketing director at Base Paws. And before I start introducing our panelists, because I'm guessing a couple of our viewers are repeat viewers, but maybe some of you don't know about Base Paws. So just a really brief overview. We are a startup company based in Los Angeles. We are a cat health company. We started with making a DNA test for cats. That's kind of our most famous product. It's a cheek swab that you send back in this exact box. And then 4 to 6 weeks, you get an electronic report that tells you about your cat's breeds and their health. But since this product was launched, maybe you saw us on Shark Tank, we've kind of expanded, and now we really say that we are a cat health company. Our newest product is, I don't know if you can see my cute hoodie, it says Flip Flip Hooray. Our newest product is a dental test, the test for a cat's predispositions to dental conditions and diseases. So this is it, this is Base Paws, and we're doing this for you, for our viewers, to educate you, to get to know you better. And it's the pandemic, so what better way to learn about our cats than through an online event. And this is a special one. This is a panel discussion about beautiful homes with cats. We've all been working from home since March 2020, making sure not this March, last March. So we thought we need to do a panel that talks about how to have a beautiful home that's still cat safe, and how to have a cat that's happy when you're working from home. You don't want the cat to be like running around everywhere, destroying your laptops, knocking things over when you're in a really important meeting. So we have this panel of amazing people. We have Beth. She's a veterinarian and pet care specialist. She's in Florida. Thanks, Beth, for being here so late.
Thanks for having me.
We have Matt. He's from Little Robot, the famous Little Robot brand, but he's in charge of everything non-robotic. He is in charge of your furniture, right? Cat furniture and of all new business. So he'll be talking about design, about just beautiful things that are cat friendly, but also look good in your homes, right?
Yes, looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Dr. Mikel Delgado, she's our regular. We love her. You guys love her. She's an absolute expert in all things cat behavior. She's a cat behavior consultant. I'll share all of our panelists' websites later on so you can check them out. We're super happy to have you here. And Dr. Delgado will be answering all questions about how to stop my cat from.
Hopefully also how to get your cat to do things you want them to do.
Exactly. And Kailie, she's a plant care and plant design specialist from Leon and George. Leon and George are one of our partners for this panel, so we are very excited. Leon and George are actually is a company that's also based in California, and you guys deliver plants to people's homes. Is that correct?
We do, yes. We could deliver and we set them up to really make sure that we find the best plant for your space. So thank you so much for having me.
Of course, awesome. And can I just say that everyone, Beth, Matt, Dr. Delgado, and Kailie, you guys all have cats. We would love to at some point see all of your cats. When we were backstage, we saw some of your cats just doing very cute things, and we hope they make an appearance again because everyone loves to see cats.
If he's not shy, he should make an appearance here soon.
Matt, your cat is called Tank. Is that correct?
Yes.
He's super, super cute. Okay, so we had a lot of questions submitted by the audience prior to this. We had hundreds of people join. And before we start, about halfway through, I'll spin a little wheel. And as you all know, this is also going to be a giveaway. We'll be giving away a cat side table by Little Robot. Matt may be able to share like an image with us later, so make sure you guys stay tuned because we'll be giving this one away to a viewer. So unless you're viewing, you can get it. So we had lots of questions submitted previously, so I'll just kind of try to go through some of them, not all of them. The first one and the one that we always get is I'm going to be posting it in comments. How to stop my cats from clawing the couch, weeing on the couch for no apparent reason. But let's kind of connect this to plants, right? We had a lot of questions people asking, how do I stop my cat from chewing on the plant? Dr. Delgado and Kailie, maybe.
Sure. I mean, plant chewing is a natural behavior for cats. And so my approach to any behavior problem is to really try to understand the cat's motivation for the problem, because it's not usually a problem. It's just a problem where the behavior is happening, right? So plant chewing is not a problem if it's on cat grass. It's a problem if it's on your precious plants that may upset your cat's stomach, or you might not want your plants destroyed by your cat, or they're digging in addition to the chewing. So that's my first question is always like, what is the cat trying, getting out of this? Why are they doing this in the first place? Because if you don't know that, you're just going to be endlessly trying to solve a problem, and you're never going to fix it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, Kailie,
No,
go ahead.
I was going to say everything Dr. Delgado said was perfect. I mean, I think, definitely finding things to entertain your cat, like cat grass or some plants that they can chew on, is definitely a really good way to divert their attention.
How about in cases where there are several scratching posts, there are cat condos throughout the house, but the cat will still scratch the couch? I feel like this is a question we get all the time, and it's probably case specific, but are there any general recommendations, Dr. Delgado, you will have?
Yeah, I mean, I always look at what is the cat scratching that you don't want them to scratch? What is it about that object that they're attracted to? Is it the material? Is it the sturdiness? Is it the location? Is it in a place where, especially with scratching, we know cats like to scratch after they nap, after they eat, often as a greeting behavior. So you'll notice when you come home, often your cat will run over to the scratching post and kind of dig in. And if the scratching post isn't nearby when they want to use it, or if it's not made of a material they like, if it's not sturdy enough, if it's not the right angle even, you may encounter problems. And I think this was a comment, I was reading through the questions ahead of time, and one person said, do I need to put a scratching post near the couch? And the answer is yes. Probably, like there might be something about that location. As far as using covers or the tape, a deterrent is not an answer to a problem. Like we really try to minimize the use of things that we would call aversives. And instead really focus on getting cats to do the behavior we want by giving them outlets that they will use, and then say giving an attention when they use their scratching post. So you're actually reinforcing the behavior. What people tend to do is yell at their cat, chase their cat away from the couch, basically give their cat attention for the behaviors that they don't like. And you might think, well, I'm yelling at him, doesn't he get it? And if your cat's bored, it might be just a way to get you to pay attention. So
yeah, and this is exactly what someone commented. My cat scratches the couch for attention, right next to the scratching post.
They'll look right at you. They're like, oh, are you going to do something? If they're bored, they're trying to get you to interact with them. And so it's really important to recognize how much of the behavior are you reinforcing through your behavior. And so much of what I do as a consultant is actually get people to change their behavior to change their cat's behavior.
Got it. Dr. Delgado, I don't know, Dr. Delgado, if you've got like a speakerphone or like special headphones, but someone's saying that you're a little quiet. Maybe you can turn the volume up. It's still fine. Like I think your connection is good. If you could, it would be great. Just making sure that everyone hears you across the board.
I can try to get a better microphone if you think that will help.
It may. I'll just the next question will be for Matt. So we'll be right here when you're back. Thank you. Matt, so talking about scratching posts and all the things that people buy for their cats to make sure that their cats are happy, I would love if you talked a little bit about Litter Robot. So you guys, I believe, started with the famous Litter Robot, which is a robot litter box, right? An automatic litter box. But then you kind of expanded recently in developing cat furniture. Why, how it's been going, and any feedback or information you wanted to share about that.
Yeah, so Litter Robot, it was invented about 21 years ago, believe it or not. And we saw a need for people in smaller spaces that wanted to utilize space above their litter box And having a litter robot, it isn't a small litter box. It is something that's there, and if you can utilize the space around it and hide your litter box at the same time, that was why we first got into furniture. We saw our customers wanting it, and to get a custom piece built around the litter robot, you're looking at $1,000 or more. So we set out to find a reputable manufacturer, and Solder is the group that we ended up partnering with, who is one of the largest furniture manufacturers. They really know their stuff. And so we had ideas, designs, and set out to solve that problem for our consumers. And that's how furniture for us got started. We started with 2 litter robot pieces to hide your litter box, to make you be able to put your litter robot in plain sight without people knowing it.
Okay.
And the feedback we received was really awesome. And the relationship with Solder has blossomed from there. And we've launched a whole bunch of other furniture and have no plans of stopping. So that's kind of how it got started. And it's been going great.
Great. And as we all expected, and as you probably experienced before, we have a lot of people asking about what kind of litter to use in the litter robot. How big of a cat would the litter robot still be okay for? Is 13 pounds, someone is asking if 13 pounds is too big. Any advice?
We recommend cats 25 pounds and smaller. So 25 pounds for a cat is a large cat. We have a large Maine Coon base that use it. My cat is 13 or 14 pounds and has no issues whatsoever. So yeah, 13 pounds is more than fine. And then we always recommend a clumping litter. It seems to clump better and hold smell a little bit better, but we do have people that use a crystal litter. As long as it passes through our sifting process, it works. So the idea is, once you buy the litter robot, you don't have to buy any additional products from us. We don't want to trap you into having to buy our litter or anything else. So if you want to just buy the litter robot, you can go with that and never purchase anything from us again.
Got it. And then let's go back to your furniture, because that's really like the focus here. So when did you start making your furniture? Was it like last year that you launched the whole new line of cat furniture?
Yeah, so we launched the first 2 pieces that were litter robot specific were, I want to say, the end of 2019.
Okay.
We launched several other cat towers, pyramids, side tables about a year ago. And it's been great. The idea was to build affordable cat furniture that blends in with your house. When somebody sees it, they should say, "Oh, I didn't even know that was a piece of cat furniture," until they see a cat on it. So that was our main goal, and we get to work with Solder and their team of furniture designers who do it for a living and are, have a great eye for what fits in people's homes.
Awesome. I was going to ask if you guys had a designer. I suppose you said you worked with an external designer to design each piece to make sure that it's cat friendly and beautiful, right?
Yeah, so we get the idea, we do our due diligence, make sure it's a design we want to move forward with, and then we move on with a designer and get a bunch of renders going and pick our favorites.
Great. And someone is asking about cats with mobility issues. Can they use a little robot? There is a ramp of some sort, is that correct?
Yeah, there is a ramp. The litter robot, it isn't super high off the ground, so we don't have a bunch of people or cats with mobility issues that have a ton of issues with it. But the ramp seems to be a great option for cats that do struggle getting in and out of the litter box.
Awesome. Great. So the ramp can be probably purchased on your website?
Yes.
Great. We're all, like I said, stuck or safe at home, working with cats. Beth, I would love to have your take on, when people come to you to the veterinary clinic that you work at during the pandemic, I suppose maybe they had to drop their cats off. What are some of the biggest behavioral or other concerns that you've seen now that people are spending more time with their cats? I suppose they're noticing more things, things that maybe were not apparent before. Do you have any advice on how to deal with that?
In general, I mean, through this pandemic, the veterinary field has been doing extremely well. And I think that's because parents are home with their fur babies and they're actually seeing what's going on with their pets. They're noticing behaviors that maybe they wouldn't have noticed. If your cat's peeing outside the litter box often, your dog ate something it shouldn't have, you're around more to see these things. So I think we're definitely seeing a lot more love and attention for the animals and the general health all the time. And I think we're seeing some pets being a little overfed in the pandemic, like extra treats here and there. But other than that, nothing too abnormal during it. I know that a lot of people question like working from home and, my cat's part of my Zoom call or my dog's part of this. And it's kind of just become normal, which I think is great that your pets can be involved in your work.
Absolutely. And Dr. Delgado, same kind of topic, working from home with cats. And we do, we're all pet lovers. We work in the pet industry. So for us, the more cats on Zoom calls, the merrier. But sometimes we do actually have to work. And at those times, you do not need your cat on your keyboard. Do you have any kind of general advice for people? Would it be playing with your cat at certain times of the day so they can expect it? Would it be making sure your cat is tired? Maybe that's more for dogs. What's your advice on how to be successful in working from home with a cat or cats?
Sure. And I want to make sure, is the microphone working okay now?
It's much better. Awesome.
Okay. Not too loud. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, we certainly have been getting a lot of consultation requests for people who are working from home, observing conflicts between their cats that maybe they didn't observe when they were gone all day, and also just having issues with exactly what you described: Zoom bombing, keyboard trotting, and just, wanting attention. I've heard from some veterinarians that we are seeing increased stress-related health issues as well. Mm-hmm. So this isn't a one-sided affair. I mean, sure, cats are interfering with our work, but you have to also consider that now we might be actually infringing on their territory and routine by staying home all day. You might be working on the couch. Maybe that's where your cat used to sleep all day, and now you've got your laptop and paperwork and you're all spread out and comfy, and your cat's like, hey, what happened to my couch? So it's a balance of meeting their needs. And I'm always going to advocate for cats' needs first and foremost, whether it's the style of your house or, what kind of enrichment you provide. But that said, there's definitely ways that we can improve their behavior when we're working. And it's okay to have some boundaries, right? So we have to give them things to keep them busy. I'm a huge fan of food puzzles as a way to keep cats occupied. These are toys that dispense dry food or treats, and they make food puzzles now for wet food as well. So if you don't feed dry, you still have options. But really the goal is to give cats their jobs back. Like, cats used to do all their own work for their food, right? By hunting. And then we bring them inside, we plop down a bowl of food, and they can just eat. And often they can eat as much as they want. And we know that stress and boredom can also lead to obesity. Food puzzles can help with that. Keeps your cat busy, slows down their eating. They can have a little more control over their feeding. A lot of cats will choose to just eat a small amount of food, leave, come back, because it takes a little bit of effort. Whereas if the food is just in a bowl, they might just eat the whole thing. So by getting them to work for their food, we can slow them down. They might decide, yeah, I'll take a break and come back later. You can plan your routine around your work schedule. So it can be good to, for example, feed your cats before you start your workday. And even before that, give them interactive play with a toy. So we're trying to induce periods of relaxation after exercise and a meal. If we go to the gym, we eat dinner, we want to sit on the couch and watch Netflix for the rest of the night. So we kind of want our cats to be in that state. And I will say things like having perches or cat furniture in a window where they can watch birds, watch the street, watch squirrels, whatever. That's a great way to keep your cat entertained during the day. You also want to think about, if your cat is trying to get in your space in your office, can you give them a better place to sit, a heated bed, a tall shelf that they can judge you from, as I like to joke. So, someone asked about the shelves behind me. Yes, they are cat shelves.
Okay. That's why they're empty, right?
Yeah. I'll be honest. My cats prefer cat trees to the shelving, and I have theories about why. But that's where they can sit and manage us as we're working, as we like to say. So give your cat other places to sit besides your keyboard.
How about TV? I know some people like to turn on the TV, and there's YouTube channels with cat programming.
Yeah, the research shows that some cats do respond to that two-dimensional stimuli. So some cats do seem to really enjoy watching bird videos, there's videos of cat toys actually moving around. And so that's fine. You don't want it to be necessarily like this predictable, like I'm going to put the TV on for 8 hours every day. They're going to lose interest. So it's the kind of thing you want to rotate enrichment so that you're keeping some amount of novelty within the structure of routine and predictability. So, introducing a new cardboard box with tissue paper in it, moving a chair to a new location. Your cat will be like, whoa, what'd you do that for? I'm going to go check it out. So, you want to maintain this sense of stability and routine, but within that, cats can be very excited by something new in their environment, and they will check it out. So that can also keep them occupied for a little time.
Okay, great advice. And I think we need to quickly go to Matt because we have a lot of questions about your cat. Matt, is it Tank?
Yeah, Tank. He's not being super cooperative. There he is.
Hi. Tell us all about Tank in a couple minutes, and then we need to make sure that Tank gets a DNA test if Tank doesn't already have one.
He does need one. Yeah. He's actually my first cat.
Okay.
And I was a little nervous to get him when I first got him, and he is the best thing that I've ever gotten. He is the sweetest cat, loves everybody, greets everybody at the door. So he's been an awesome first experience.
Did you get him as a kitten?
Yeah.
So how old is he now?
He is 2.5.
Okay, so he's a little baby.
Yeah, he's still a little younger. I grew up with a cat for a short period of time, and then he exited. So
okay,
I didn't grow up with cats other than for a short period of time.
And you also have a dog, correct?
We have a little Pawsitive who's about the same size, and he's looking into the camera now.
Hi, Tank.
They like to play. So.
That's great. And I suppose a lot of people have multiple cats and dogs, different pets in the homes, and that poses sometimes an additional, not risk, but an additional constraint and difficulty, especially now that we're at home all the time. Matt, it's good to hear that your cat and dog get along well.
They do, yeah. I was a little nervous. My dog's a little mean sometimes, but they are buddies.
Well, you have a Cavapoo. I have a Cavalier. I don't know if you can see. That's my Cavalier in the image there. So she's a happy National Puppy Day, everyone. We are a cat company, but we do love all pets and all animals. So appreciate a cute puppy always. So it's 5:23. I want to maybe spin the wheel. Matt, do you have like an image to share, or shall we?
I do.
Hi, Tank's tail.
But I was thinking it may make a little more sense to just let the winner pick whatever piece fits best into their house.
That's even better. Great. That's what we're here
Let's
for.
do that and give the winner a choice.
Okay, so I'm going to spin the wheel. The way it's going to work is so whoever registered, I have your names and emails. Not I personally. Basepaws has your names and emails. We will not spam you. These are all in Eventbrite just for the purposes of this giveaway. I have them all in a wheel that I'm going to share right now. I will spin the wheel, and then a winner's name and last name will pop up. Because of the rules, we said that the winner has to be watching this. So if you see your name and last name pop up, please comment. There's going to be probably a little bit of a delay, but yeah, let's do this. Okay. Sharing the screen. I hope I'll share the correct Chrome tab. Otherwise, okay. Let's do this. Okay. There's a Charles DiBiase here.
Hey.
Charles DiBiase. I know there's probably a 5-10 second delay, so I'll wait before I spin again for Charles to comment. Do you want to, Matt, stop sharing? Are you able to maybe share your screen with all the products, so people can see what the choice is and what products they could choose, or the winner can choose?
All right. Can you see that?
I cannot. Can anyone else see it? Oh, wait. I'm adding to stream. Okay, we can now. Awesome.
So here is the list. We have one more that's not on there, but that would be
awesome.
If the winner happens to have a litter robot, then they're in luck. They can pick one of the litter robot pieces. If not,
okay. And is
these also work with a traditional litter box too, so it doesn't have to be litter robot specific.
Awesome. And what's the cat pyramid? That's something that's on the floor, or is it attached to the wall?
Nope, this is on the floor.
Okay. Cute.
I have this one in my house. It's my personal favorite.
Nice. Rachel, I'm registered under a different email name. So Rachel, was that your name? So we're looking for was it Charles DiBiase? If Charles DiBiase is here, can you please comment? Otherwise, I think maybe we'll just spin again. Just give people a couple more minutes. I'm going to do this. Okay. We have plenty more questions, so we can do this. We can do this forever. Let's talk a little bit more about plants. We've talked about furniture, about working from home. Oh, Kailie, who's your cat?
This is Fig. She's also a little bit camera shy. I feel like she loves to stare at me from across the room or manage me from up on the window. But today she's a little bit more moody. But I named her after the fiddly fig, which is behind me. So yeah, so aptly named. But yeah, that's Fig.
So that brings us to a question. Are fiddly figs safe for cats? Beth, Kailie?
So I would say, Beth, you might have more about this, but I would say that fiddles tend to be a bit lower on the toxicity scale, but they are toxic to animals. So they'll upset the stomach, they'll upset their throat, but they're not, deadly necessarily unless the cat consumes a lot. But I will say my Fig lives really well with the fiddly fig at my house. She grew up with it, so she's not that interested. But Beth, I don't know if you have more.
To be honest with that plant, I don't, but I know that you had listed parlor palm is a good choice. The cast iron that you had listed as well, and the braided money tree plant would be probably a better option. The fig one, to be honest, I don't know too much about the fig plant.
So I will post a comment right here. This is an ASPCA website that we always go to, when discussing. You cannot know every single plant that's toxic or not toxic or safe. And as Beth said, there's several levels of toxicity. And what's really, really important is that everyone just does their own research. So before you decide to bring a plant into your home, make sure you read all about it. I personally kill all plants, regardless of how hard I try. But I still buy them. And when I'm in the plant store, I go online and research and Google, this and this plant, safe for cats or safe for dogs. Beth, is that the recommendation you would give too?
100%. And even if I read online it was safe, I'd probably still check with my veterinarian to be safe, because the toxicity with cats, it can be so fast, like we were saying earlier. So you definitely want to check that out. And then also the app that the ASPCA has now for poison control. So they actually have an app that you can search the flower and it'll tell you the toxicity levels of the plant.
Okay, great. That's an app that anyone can download?
Yep.
Okay. I want to spin again because I am not sure that Charles is here. So let's just do this again. Also, this is so much fun.
Oh, wait, somebody commented.
Oh, this. Okay, is a Bea Coleman here? Bea Coleman. Let's try this again. I know it's going to be a bit of a delay. Somebody's saying there's Charles. Oh, really, Jaden? Oh, okay. Well, if Bea is here, we'll just give 2 prizes away. Jaden, if you're really Charles DiBiase, please email us with the email that you registered, and we'll give you all the information that you need to get your prize. So, and if Bea is here, please also email us. We'll just give out 2 prizes. Jaden has joined some of our, oh, Bea is my cat's name, has joined some of our events previously, so I feel like I know them. Okay, so let's talk some more about plants and about what plants are safe, what plants are not safe, where to position them in the home. If you have the audience, like our viewers, if you have any questions about a specific plant, there's a link we shared if you just scroll up the ASPCA link. But if you have any questions, so we probably don't know every single plant, whether or not it's toxic. But how about some very common house plants? Beth, Kailie, what are some of the most common house plants that are safe for pets? Kailie, Leon, and George, and this may be an opportunity for you to tell us a little bit about what you do. You have a particular segment that is pet safe plants. So people can click on pet safe plants and make sure that whatever they order is safe for their cats, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So we really want to make sure, obviously, that the plant will fit best in your space. And that includes, in your pet space as well. And so we do have a Safe for Pets tab. I can link it in the chat somehow. But yeah, so with Leon and George, I really work as a plant stylist to make sure that customers in their homes or their offices have the best plant to fit the space, the light level, that it looks nice in the room. And so we do definitely carry quite a few plants that are pet safe. And so I actually have a few with me. There is the Pilea. This one is a really great plant or a pet safe plant.
Okay.
And these ones tend to be fairly low maintenance as well. So I would say, they want to be watered about once a week. They do enjoy brighter light, but they stay very happy in our homes.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so that's a good one if you're looking for.
What is it called again? Could you repeat that?
Yeah, it's called a Pilea. So Pilea. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's say for beginner plant owners, for people who maybe don't have a green thumb, this would be a great plant.
I would say that this one may be for, on the latter half of the beginner side. For the beginner plant, I don't have it with me, but the cast iron plant, I believe Beth mentioned it before. Those are both low light plants and, low water need. So you only need to water those when the soil is dry. And so they can also be in the darkest corner of your house, and they, do really well. They love shady areas. They actually thrive there. So the cast iron plant, aptly named, it is pretty solid and is not going to die very easily. So it's good for beginners, definitely.
Someone's saying that they love their Pilea, and my question is the cast iron plant probably called cast iron because it's very difficult to destroy?
Yes. Definitely. I will say, I have a lot of plants, and I tend to forget about my cast iron plant, but it looks just as green as the day I got it. And I really just do minimal care for it. They're really hardy. For sure.
Okay. And can you tell us how Leon and George work? So it's a pretty innovative or like a new concept. So you basically order a plant and it's delivered to your home with a pot and everything?
Yes, we deliver most of our plants just kind of ready to go. They're staged in their pot. So they have some moss over top of them, and they are beautiful and decorative for in your home. So we don't actually pot directly into the ceramic pot. We keep them in their plastic nursery pots and stage them in the pot so that you can easily transfer it as the plant grows. So it's really a lot easier. I didn't used to do that with my own plants, but now I do that with all of them because it is extremely easy to transfer them as they grow up.
Okay. And do your plants come with like instructions on how to take care of them?
Yes, every plant has a care guide. You'll receive that when you get the plant, but then also online we have all of the information for every single plant that we carry. as well as a plant doctor that you can contact pretty much 24/7 just with your questions, and they'll get back to you, with some good solutions and troubleshoot with you if you have some concerns about a plant in your home.
Somebody is asking if there's a safe plant like grass that my cat can eat because she sometimes wants to vomit. Anyone wants to answer this? Maybe Beth or Dr. Delgado or maybe Kailie. Oh, hi, Kailie. Your cat is so cute.
Really cute.
Yes. Thanks.
Are they saying that they want the cat to eat grass because it's vomiting? Is that what the question is?
I believe so.
I mean, there's the cat grass like Dr. Delgado had mentioned earlier. I'm not sure if it's vomiting, you'd want it to eat grass.
Yeah, I think Beth will certainly speak to the fact that recently we've really gotten away from normalizing vomiting in cats. I think there was a period where people just thought that if cats threw up, that was just what cats do, and that's not the case. You always want to have that checked by a veterinarian. Two separate issues, right? Yes, there are cat grasses that are safe, and they're usually just a mix of like wheat and oat and rye grasses that you can grow in a planter in your house or purchase at a pet store. But the vomiting, that's not a reason to buy cat grass. It's not a cure for vomiting. You definitely want to talk to your vet about that.
And we second that. We obviously are not here to give any medical veterinary advice. And for any issues like that, we would recommend you calling or speaking to your veterinarian. That's the safest, especially if it's vomiting or any other symptoms like that. Now, Kailie, maybe this one is for you. Someone is talking about, small rooms, for everyone really, when you have a very small space and you have a cat or several cats, how do you make sure they're still adequately enriched? And, where do you fit a plant in there? Maybe Dr. Delgado, you can start, and then Kailie.
Yeah, I would say, first of all, take advantage of natural things in your house, like furniture that you can clear off to, make some vertical space for your cat. Cats will certainly appreciate having things like cat trees and shelving. I will say that the shelves behind me are from IKEA. I think they were $8 each. So it's not like that was a huge investment. I put anti-skid mats on top of them because the wood is very slick, but you can certainly clear off a dresser and put a fleece pad on it, and that is now a vertical space for your cat. I will say too, even though I have a very enriched house, my cat's favorite thing is the packaging paper, like the craft paper that comes in boxes. We just turn that into tunnels, and they seem to that's just their favorite thing. So sometimes you don't even have to necessarily spend a lot of money to make your cats happy.
Okay. How about plants? Plants that are suitable for smaller spaces, and then maybe Matt, any furniture that you would recommend for smaller spaces?
So yeah, I guess as far as plants, a good way to actually, make multiple plants is to propagate. And so a lot of our plants are able to be propagated, especially like the pilea. You can have one and they give off little pups and you can trim them. We also have guides on how to propagate on our website. But yeah, I would say, just adding greenery to your house really does just enrich your environment. If you do want to put things up on shelves, that's a good way of kind of finding the light in your home too. And especially if you have really great light in your house, definitely recommend keeping some pet safe plants around. And then also, our plants all come shipped in boxes. So those are really fun toys for your cat as well. I think my cat gets so excited when I get deliveries. She just hops immediately into the boxes. So I think, just really also like Dr. Delgado was saying, is utilizing that vertical space, putting plants up in higher places, maybe where the cat doesn't go, but then also having cat furniture as well. So it's a good way.
Great. And Matt, out of all of your items, what's the smallest you would say that will fit into the smallest space?
Our silo or side table are a good just kind of end piece. They're by far the smallest, but still offer your cat a place to hide out or sleep. Also on the vertical space, our cabinet and hutch, it hides your litter box, but it's also a cat tree on top. So that's something you can hide your litter box, have space on top, and have a cat tree all in one area for your cat to play.
Great. And since a lot of people are asking, I want to share your websites here again. This is Leon and George. So leonandgeorge.com is the main website. And then if you do /product/collections pet safe plants, you'll get to the pet safe plants. So this is the plant delivery service, or Kailie's website, as someone called it. And then we've got the Litter Robot, litterrobot.com /litter products to get to all of their products. And this will also be in the in the description of the YouTube video, and we can also share it on Facebook so everyone can see it after this live. So it's all out there, it's all public, it's all available, and yes. Now, more plant questions. People are asking how to stop their cats from knocking over plants and potted plants. Let me look at here. Let me find that question. How do I stop my cat from knocking over vases, or potted plants besides weighing them down? And this is kind of a little bit related to what we talked about earlier before we went live. Where do we put plants? Is it just trial and error? Do we attach them to a wall? And if we attach them to a wall, and if we have hanging plants, are those safe for cats? And how do we take care of them? Are those more difficult to maintain? A lot of questions. Dr. Delgado?
Yeah, I'm a fan of museum putty when cats are knocking things off shelves. So that's just something that will adhere any vase or any valuable trinkets that you have that your cat likes to knock over. Cats do that type of behavior in part to get your attention. If you put a webcam on your mantle and your cats are never on it when you're not home, then you are definitely the reason they're getting up there and trying to, get you to pay attention to them. So you always want to look at, are you giving your cat enough play? So Nadia, you did say something earlier about, should we be thinking tired cats like we do for dogs? And the answer is yes. We want our cats to be tired, both physically and mentally. And so you want to give them physical exercise. You want to give them cognitive challenges, for example, with food puzzles. So interactive play with wand toys. These are all great ways that you can help your cat be more relaxed. In general, we know that exercise has stress-reducing properties for cats, all animals, just like it does for humans. So you should try to exercise your cats. And I will say, if your cat likes things like digging in dirt or, getting into your plants, you may want to consider, if it's safe where you live, training them to go outside on a harness. I know my last cat, she was, a senior, and we would take her in our backyard on a harness. And honestly, all she wanted to do was roll in the dirt, and lay in the sun. She didn't really want to explore, but really she loved rolling in dirt so much.
And actually, we have a couple of questions about rolling in dirt. A couple of people said, my cat loves rolling in the dirt. Why? What can I do against it? Any advice?
Yeah. So you can put rocks over the soil in your plant that will be less comfortable. They won't want to roll around in it. I did have an herb garden that was indoors that my cat squished all the herbs. And so I just ended up turning it into his dirt bed, and I put it in a sunny window and he would just lay in it. Aww. I don't know. I'm maybe I go a little too far in, amusing my cats and entertaining their every need. But they really do like that sensation. I don't know if it's the warmth or the feeling, but some of the behaviors like chewing grass and probably rolling in dirt, we have to remember that cats have evolved to have certain behaviors over thousands of years. And some of these behaviors served a function for them in the past, even if they don't serve a function living inside our home. So a cat who is outdoors that rolls in dirt, that might have some properties of reducing the parasite load in their fur. We know that seems like certain soils can help dehydrate fleas and that sort of thing. And then the same thing is true of cat grass. It appears from some research that it probably served some sort of function in the past that gave some cats a slight advantage reproductively. And so cats often have these behaviors that seem very strange to us inside the home, but just because we brought them inside doesn't mean their instincts go away. So they still express these behaviors, even though they seem very odd to us.
Got it. And Kailie, let's say we have plants that, like hanging plants, right? Or anything that is in a pot that's maybe a bit higher up, maybe on the wall. Maybe the cat isn't interested in those kinds of plants. If for some reason, let's just say that they're not interested. Is there anything special that we need to be careful with? when it comes to, let's say, hanging plants or anything that's maybe in a corner? I suppose it could be less light. How do we test, if it's high up, do we just like test the moisture with our finger? Is there like moisture meters? What would you recommend?
I would say, so I do have some hanging plants myself. We don't necessarily sell ones in like hanging pots, but in my experience, it really works best to take them down to water them. And so kind of along with like what I said before, it's really nice to have a watertight, vase or a pot that they're in. That way you can remove the nursery pot, drench it however much water it needs, wait till it kind of drips through, and then return it to the pot and hang it back up. I would say as far as lighting, you can really, you could get away with having hanging plants kind of in similar spots as you would, your plants on the ground. If a plant doesn't like really bright direct light, it could be maybe not as ideal to keep them in the window, but that could be maybe just hanging it on the wall further away. And we do have a light guide as well that kind of gives an idea of what, say, medium bright, bright light, lower light looks like in the home. And so that same consideration would go for a hanging plant as well. But really, I find that they do really well in my house, especially because, floor space is limited in little apartments. So, yeah.
And also I see that Jaden, he says, or they say that they're Charles DiBiase. I'm here, I'm doing this live. I'm sorry, I cannot reply to your email right now, but I will check the emails and I will make sure it's all correct. We had 2 winners. One will win the Litter Robot cat furniture. The other winner will win a cat DNA test. So it's all fine. And we've got Renee here in the comments. So Renee, she's also from Leon and George, and she's kind of commenting to some of your plant questions. So if you have a question for her, she may be able to answer in the comments. So that's awesome. Steve is asking something interesting. My cat loves eating succulents. Is that okay? I suppose there's no clear-cut answer because there's probably succulents that are very much not okay, and there's succulents that may be okay. Beth?
So the succulents kind of have funny names, but the one hens and chickens, that is a safe succulent. And then the donkey's tail succulent seems to be on the safer side for that. But I have seen with my own personal cats, they don't like the succulents for some reason. They don't even go near the pot, which is great. And I'm like you, I don't do well with plants, unfortunately. So the succulents seem to work great for me, and my boys kind of avoid them. So I would say they're definitely on the higher safe side. But again, look at the toxicity and research exactly what succulent you have in your home.
Great. And then, with Easter approaching, some people celebrate Easter. It's all about beautiful flowers in vases and beautiful flower arrangements and a lot of lilies and tulips. We know that lilacs are extremely toxic, so are tulips, particularly the bulbs. But also, the entire flower. Would not recommend, especially if you don't know your cat. Any advice on that, Beth? Any flowers that look beautiful and are still safe for cats if you do
sunflowers.
Want
Sunflowers are beautiful and they're safe for cats.
Got it.
Unfortunately, a lot of the Easter flowers are just not great. The daffodils, the tulips, hydrangeas, lilies, no, absolutely not. So a succulent or a sunflower would be great.
Got it.
Can I add something, which is just, I think sometimes people think like, oh, well, my cat doesn't climb, or I've trained him not to chew on certain plants. Lilies, you just cannot risk it. All it takes is like a lick of pollen to send your cat into kidney failure. It's not worth the risk, even if you think you know your cat and you believe they will never, ever check out a plant. It is just absolutely not worth the risk.
Yes. So 0, 0, 0, just do not have them in the house. Someone is asking about roses or Gerbera daisies. I believe Gerbera daisies are on the safe list. How about roses? Anyone knows?
I think that they are more on the safe side, but again, you want to think of the thorns on the rose and what that could potentially do to your cat. So yes and no.
Okay. Silk of fabric flowers. want that or don't want that, Dr. Delgado?
They're not going to poison your cat, but of course, if your cat is going to chew them and ingest any of it, then you might have a different problem, which I'm sure Beth has encountered dealing with cats who have eaten something that is not food.
Foreign bodies.
Yes.
Okay. Now, talking about, ideally, no cat will ever get poisoned, right? Because we are responsible cat owners and because we don't have lilies or other toxic plants or items at home. But sometimes it happens. Or sometimes, you take your cat out, they ingest something they're not supposed to, they eat, who knows, your food. They get to the vet, or before they get to the vet, you call the pet poison control health line. Beth, do you want to kind of guide us through the process so for cat owners know if they suspect their cat is poisoned, what are kind of the steps that we recommend taking?
So obviously you want to get in touch with an emergency veterinarian hospital. So I think it's very important, no matter where you live or how many pets that you have, where your 24-hour, 7-day-a-week veterinary clinic is, and have their phone number saved. They would be the first people to call. And I always tell people, overreact. It's better to overreact than to underreact and have a very sad situation. So definitely have that emergency veterinarian, even through the later hours when your normal vet isn't open, and contact the poison control line as soon as possible. And they'll give you the following steps as to what you're going to need to do.
Got it. And have you seen a lot of cats that come to your clinic with signs of toxicity, and what then do you do once they're admitted?
I personally haven't seen that. In the emergency situation, I was in an emergency hospital for a few months. You didn't see too many toxic situations with cats, which is great. But I'm sure, it definitely happens.
Mm-hmm. So the safest is do not have any plants that you're not 100% certain are cat safe. That includes flowers, so cut flowers and plants. It's 5:52 Los Angeles time, so we kind of have to wrap up. We have a lot of questions left. I will go through them quickly, but do you guys want to kind of say a couple more sentences about Matt? You've kind of been quiet. I'm so sorry for the last few minutes when we talked about plants. Do you have any plants at home, or do you want to share any your experience with maybe your cat furniture?
I don't have a bunch. I've been listening and learning.
That's good.
I personally am not a big plant person. My fiance loves succulents. I have two fake plants in my office that Tank loves to lay and nap in. But that's about as far in as I get into plants. I've killed a few of our office ones, and that was the last time I was tasked with watering the plants.
That sounds like me. Dr. Delgado, working from home with cats.
Yeah, I mean, my take honestly is it's the cat's house. They just let me live here, and so and we didn't maybe get super into kind of the aesthetics. I mean, a lot of people say they don't want to live with cats. Me personally, I take a lot of pride in looking like I live with cats, and I get excited when I'm walking in my neighborhood and I see someone who has a cat tree in their front window and there's a cat in it. That always warms my heart. So, for me, it's really like the cat did not choose to live with us. We made a choice to bring them into our home. And so we have a responsibility to meet their behavioral needs, just like we have a responsibility to meet their needs for food, litter, water. To me, enrichment, playtime, things to do, attention is just as important as all of those things in having like a happy cat, a healthy cat, and also a good relationship with your cat.
Absolutely. Kailie, any last word advice on how to take care of your pet safe plants?
Yeah, I mean, really, when it comes down to it, you can still have beautiful and easy to care for greenery in your home with your cat. And so I would say it's really important to do your research. We've given some resources today, and I think that it's just really good to keep in mind that you can take care of the plant. You got it. We give very detailed instructions on our site. We make it as easy as we possibly can, and really want to see your plants thrive, but also obviously, like Dr. Delgado said, your cats, it's their house. So it is really important to be sure to find ones that are beautiful, but also safe for them.
Absolutely. And I believe it was Twin Turdies or someone else commenting that next time we will ask all of our panelists to put their Instagram handle or maybe their brand or company next to the name, so people know where to find you. So Mike is from Little Robot, and we've got Kailie with Leon and George. I put the banner up here again. Then is Dr. Delgado, mikeldelgado.com. We've got Pawsitive Vibes Jax, which is the LLC company of Beth. You can find her in Florida if you have any pet care needs. She's your girl. And then we've got the Little Robot again, and we are basepaws.com. And I did receive emails. I know a lot of people are anxious about who won. I did receive an email from the potential winner. I just have to check that the same people haven't registered multiple times, just to be fair. You know, we don't want one person to register 100 times. But all in all, yes, we've got Mr. Divyasi, who is the winner, and then we've got the other winner, Bia. So we will send them both a prize. Nothing to worry about. Thank you all for coming here. This was wonderful, very informative, fun. I learned a lot, and we hope to do this again, you know, and thank you to all the viewers. Check our Facebook page out, check our Eventbrite page out, check our website. If you sign up for our newsletters, we talk about our upcoming events all the time. We also have a giveaway with Leon and George. So if you want to win a free pet safe plant, you may do so if you enter our giveaway. Well, you may be able to win if you enter our giveaway on Instagram. It's open until midnight Pacific time today. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.